Hey guys, it's Emily. So the book that I chose to do for my children's book talk is called 10 Black Dots. Here's the cover of it. It is by Donald Cruz, and it's kind of dedicated towards students in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. So the main storyline or summary from this book is the idea of counting, and this goes through that with counting from 1 to 10 with dots, some simple rhymes, and obviously some bright pictures. And some examples from the book are listed here in the blue, as one dot can be a moon or a sun, two dots can make eyes on a fox, three dots can make beads on a string, and then it goes all the way down to 10 dots. Each page has something like this. It has a picture and a black dot that represents what the caption is. So this one represents the sun. Here's the two dots as eyes on a fox. Three dots as beads for stringing on a lace. And then I skipped around just so you could get the idea of some more. Eight dots can make wheels on a train like this. And then there's the 10 dots that are in your tree stuck outside that are balloons. So I picked up a few math concepts while I was reading this. Obviously, it's a pretty basic book, but I tried to dig a little deeper. So the first thing, obviously, is counting. So this is a little clear with counting to 10. There are multiple examples of how many dots can make what the picture is, and this involves counting the dots on the picture and kind of seeing where the dots land. This gives students something else to count rather than just seeing the number on the page. This gives them an object to relate it to so they have a better visual understanding of 10. I also found patterns, and I might be stretching this idea a little bit, but I think that there are some patterns found in this book. There's the repetition of 10 dots, 10 black dots with different pictures. You can see the pattern of dots increasing on each page, and I know this is a very basic observation, but I think this can be very important. So the main pattern I saw was as the number increases, the amount of objects increase, or the amount of dots increase. I also saw the observation of problem solving in this book. I think I can also label this as thinking outside the box, because putting numbers with pictures can sometimes be difficult for students, and by putting a certain amount of something into a visual makes counting easier in some cases. It's right there in front of you instead of in your head, and this way, with using a visual to count, you can revisit this as many times as a student would like and or needs. Problem solving or thinking outside the box in math is a great tool to have in your toolbox to relate to other math problems. I also saw efficiency. I think using many different counting techniques can benefit the student down the road with harder math problems or in any other subject. If they find tricks and things that they work for them now, math will be more successful for that student. So in other words, my idea of finding tools for your learning toolbox that help you get through your schoolwork efficiently is very beneficial. So like using pictures and numbers for different representations. And then I thought of the idea about subitizing. This one I might be stretching a little bit as well, but my thinking behind this is students learning the concept of subitizing. So this allows students to work quicker and add another tool to their box. I think this book would be a great activity for subitizing and a good starting point, even though it's made for counting. The objects are large, bold, and equal in size, and this is just a skill that they could practice to translate over into other math problems. And in the classroom, I think this book can transfer over into your kindergarten, first, or second grade classrooms with these techniques in counting. I think there are many ways to count with your fingers and with objects in math. I think allowing students to have something physical in front of them that they can touch or see can make counting a little easier, also depending on the student. This can allow the class to also grow together and share visual representations of how they got to a certain number, and maybe share what they can make with their own amount of dots. And this can also allow your students to come together to be able to work with each other and help students that may be struggling. So overall, I think this book can be looked at as a very basic math tool, but I see it as a beneficial tool to spark some other learning. So thank you for listening, and hope everyone is happy and healthy.